guys, I am really excited because it is almost turkey season, which means I have to get ready for turkey season, and I am not ready yet. So this video is going to be me kind of going through all of my staple pieces, some of the gear that I'm going to be using, and I'm also very excited because I have a pretty cool announcement, and this is something that has been so important to me for a long time, and I've purposely not worked with anyone in the camo space because I wanted to, one, just stay authentic and true to myself because I like to mix and match, I like to try different things, but also being a woman in the outdoor space, our options are very limited. So there is a line called Prois, and I am officially working with them as of this year. I wore some of their gear last year in deer season. You guys may have noticed. I've had a few questions about it, and so now I want to kind of address it, and I figured going into turkey season, I've got some new stuff, and I want to show you guys just to give you ideas of stuff that is for women and might actually fit you and be functional. So I'm excited. It's going to be really good, and I'll show you some pieces. Okay, so the first piece that I want to show you guys is the turkey vest, which is something obviously most turkey hunters want to have. This is brand new for this year, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's got a lot of really cool features. I haven't used it yet, so I'm really excited to take it out. You guys know I do a bunch of hunts every year, so this is going to be really breaking it in and giving it the ultimate test. But it's got really cool options, you know, bunch of pockets for calls, storage, all kinds of good stuff. Totally customizable for sizing, so you can actually make it fit you versus having this big awkward vest on. It's got these big interior pockets for carrying decoys, or if you shoot a turkey you can shove it in there too. All kinds of stuff like zippers. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything, and most of it is pretty well waterproof. If not, it's got these mesh parts so it can dry out pretty easy. So if you guys are hunting in like rainy conditions, that is, I think, useful. And the pad on it is one of those that's like very stiff on the bottom, but also like comfortable. So I think it's gonna be really cool. And I'll put it on for like a size reference. And I haven't adjusted it yet, so we'll do that, I guess, quickly. And this is kind of nice because like you don't necessarily need to bring a backpack if you don't want to, because it has so much like storage. Actually, it's pretty good. I'm gonna tighten it a little bit. And then you just undo the clip and sit down and shoot turkey. Might have to adjust, but you got the idea. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is show you a few of the pieces that I'm gonna be wearing this year. The pattern on everything is the Veil Cumbre, which is a pretty diverse pattern, I would say. It's got a lot of grays, a lot of greens, a lot of browns. Obviously you can see some tan. So it's got a good mixture and it fits a lot of different places. Like I said, I deer hunted with it this past year, so never had any issues, and I think it's pretty cool looking. So if you are in regions of, I would even say like the south, or have some early seasons that are rainy and you need a good rain jacket, the Dionla rain jacket is really, really nice. I also used this piece last year for deer season, and it is very comfortable. A lot of rain jackets are hot, and I really didn't think it was overly hot. So if you need that, cool. If not, this isn't necessarily something you would have to get, but I would recommend it if you are in like rainy states where your seasons are probably going to get a lot of rainfall. Okay, so also going along with the warm weather states, they have a lightweight range of pants. These are the Solus ultra lightweight, so if you're in states that are very hot, I would recommend a really lightweight pair of pants. These are going to be, I don't know if I'll actually wear these this year because I'm not hunting anywhere that's going to be super hot, but these are also good for like early season deer hunting too. They're just, you know, moisture wicking. It helps keep you from sweating too terribly bad, and they're very stretchy and very comfortable, so that's one thing I really like about these. For anyone who's hunting in some colder states, there are actually, there's a lot of like jacket options. I will probably be wearing this one. This is called the Quest jacket, and it is like very quiet, very, kind of reminds you of like a puffy, but it doesn't have like the loud puffy sound that a lot of those jackets have. Super quiet, but it's still gonna be functional and warm. I guess I could be showing you guys these. So this is the jacket. And also I would say like the sizing is pretty like spot on. There's, you know, maybe size up if you think you're going to be wearing base layers under anything, but for the most part, like, they're true to size. So if you're a small, you're probably going to be a small, which is my sizing. Another option, if you want something that's a little more durable, I would consider these more jean-like, but not quite, are the Trinity Performance Pants. They're just a little bit thicker than the last pair, and again, they have other options, like if you are in a state like Nebraska that starts super early but it's cold, they have like heavy selection, you know, stuff that you would maybe wear more so during deer season, but I don't think I'm gonna need that, so most of the stuff that I'm using is gonna be like mid to lightweight type stuff, and again, these are not, you know, you got a bunch of options, but I'm just gonna tell you guys like what I would recommend just because of, you know, that's what I'm going to be wearing. So these are also a good option if you want something more durable. So another piece that I had worn during deer season is the Olan merino wool zip up. This one's really good for early season. I tend to sweat very easily, so sometimes I opt out of the merino wool just because it is very warm, but it's thin enough that, you know, if you want to layer it, you can. It's a great like mid-layer kind of jacket, but you can also wear it by itself too. Super comfortable, but I may or may not use it, just kind of depends on the weather. But also I am a huge vest fan, and I actually like recently discovered vests, which is crazy because I don't know how I survived without them, but now that I layer with vests, it's so nice, especially shooting your bow. You have like the movement, your shoulders are free, so you can still like move around if you need to and not feel like you're like suffocated in the big puffy jacket. So I love wearing vests, and this one is the Quest vest, which is actually the jacket that I just showed you. This is the version, the vest version. So it's also very quiet, like it's not, you know, not gonna like make a lot of noise when you're walking around. I'm probably gonna be wearing this every sit. So anyway, that's just what I'm going to be wearing. If you guys want to go check out Prois, I have a link in the description. And they are also, it's a little sneak preview, but they're going to be coming out with a new camo pattern called Merge. And I hear it's going to be a lot more green, so really good for turkey season. I will let you guys know whenever that comes out. But for now, this is the line that I will be wearing this turkey season and going into deer season. I'm really excited about it. Okay. So now that I've shown you what I will be wearing, I'm going to show you what else I'm going to put in my turkey pack, because obviously you need more than just clothing. So first thing is, I may or may not actually bring this because the turkey vest has a ton of pockets, so there's a good chance I don't need a backpack. However, because I do a lot of self-filming, it just depends if I'm going to have somebody helping me or not. I may bring my pack to just carry my camera gear. So, this is the tethered pack. This I obviously used all deer season, you guys know, and it is literally my favorite pack that I've ever used, and I've used a few because I'm always trying to find one that fits my frame. As a girl, obviously, a lot of packs are too big for me, so this one is super nice. It's one of those that's just like super customizable. It's got a MOLLE system, so you can have as many straps or zip ties or whatever you need. Pockets, bunch of storage on the inside. I might even have some leftover deer season stuff like hot packs. What else we got in here? Tissues. Some deer tags. And a portable charger. So a bunch of stuff. Oh, and chapstick. So I need to obviously clean this out and get it ready for turkey season. But this is just a really great pack. And it's pretty lightweight. I actually don't know how much it weighs, but it's just one that's not too bad. So I love this. Probably gonna bring it if I have to self-film. Otherwise, I'm just gonna wear the vest. And then I have the Bushnell Vault Bino harness, And I'm gonna attach a little rangefinder pouch on the side, which I forgot to do, but I will also have my rangefinder right here, which I don't usually use if I'm gun hunting, but there's a chance I'm gonna try to bow hunt at least one turkey this year, so I will attach that. But yeah, just my binos, and obviously you can put it on your chest. And if not, I'll just shove them in there. I still have to figure out a lot, honestly, but I try to be as minimal as possible, but it doesn't always work out. And then, obviously decoys, that is like a, I don't know, 50-50 if I use decoys. Honestly, I think I've killed more birds not over decoys because I do a lot of run and gun type stuff. But if you're gonna bow hunt, which I probably will, I'll end up using decoys. I might even just like get a ground blind and just set them out and just see how that does. I think if you use this type of Jake, that tends to be like the best, in my opinion, for most of the season. A lot of birds like want to come beat them up. So this, if you're on the fence of like what to use, if you just get like a lone Jake, that's a good place to start. I also have a hen, and I've used a strutter maybe like 1 or 2 times, but I don't think you necessarily need one. Sometimes I will just do like a lone hen. I think the feeding hen is a really good one because she's not alert looking. She seems like she's feeding, so the birds will kind of come in just like checking out the area. I wouldn't say they come running in like they do with this guy, but it's a safe option if you have really timid birds that just aren't quite sure and they don't want to beat up a Jake. So, like I said, that's a 50-50 if I use those or not. And then obviously I'm gonna have calls. I tend to run a slate call. That's just like my favorite. Sometimes it stinks because if it rains, then you know it's like wet and it's kind of hard to use. I've called most of my turkeys in with just using my mouth and no call, so I will probably just do that. But if you guys like need a call, I would recommend like a slate or a glass call. They're just pretty easy to use. This is not scratched, so it might. If you do that a few times, honestly, that could work pretty decent. A lot of turkeys, I think people think that you have to like sound so good as a turkey, but I've heard some really rough calls call in some birds, so don't feel like you have to like overthink it. Just a couple yelps and you should be okay. And then really the only other thing, I guess, is if I'm gonna be self-filming, which you guys know I do a lot of, what I tend to do is I'll have a tripod that I will run my main camera on, and then if I'm in a blind, obviously, like I'll just set up in the blind, but a lot of times if I'm running and gunning, I get this like camo netting that you get from like Walmart or somewhere cheap. You probably get it online too, and wrap it around my tripod, and then I also kind of like use it as like a shield to like, you know, cover myself in and sort of just like get tucked in, sit up against a tree. And I've done a lot of hunting that way, and I think that's pretty effective if you're trying to just run and gun and get on some birds. So that's typically what I'll do. I really don't know. It's kind of just one of those things, like every situation is different. So, you know, if the situation calls for, you know, having to kind of brush myself in, this is like super helpful. But you don't always need it. It really just depends kind of like where you are. If you can brush in naturally too, I mean, that also works. So that is my setup. I don't think I forgot anything. Let me think about it. I might use a mouth call here and there. I do wear gloves. I couldn't find my gloves, but you know, just a thin pair of gloves just to keep, because I'm pretty pale, so my hands and like my face tend to glow. So I'll wear gloves, and then I've got like a neck gaiter. You guys know I deer hunt with a neck gaiter like almost every sit, so kind of one of those things. And then I'll get a hat if I, you know, think it's gonna be like sunny. You don't need one, I guess, but you know, just to kind of shield your face. You know, just to blend in. So I think that's everything. Yeah, I think so. But I'm excited for turkey season. It's coming up quick. Actually, what are we, March, mid-March? So in less than a month, I will be turkey hunting. So I will be doing a bunch of those. I've got at least 4 states planned. So you guys are going to get to see all my turkey content this year and get to see me use all my stuff. So I'm excited, and I will see you guys in the next one.